It's time to stop the hacking. It's time to stop the piracy. SandCastles is introducing a revolutionary new patented technology that transcends current solutions on the market to effectively protect all forms of digital data. The current standard approach to securing computer data today depends on both the provider, let's call this the server, and the computer of the person accessing the data, let's call this the client, both being secure and uncompromised. Examples utilizing the current protection technologies: video content downloading, online banking transactions, online access to medical records, cloud data storage protection, undue digital data retraction. Unfortunately, the current approach to data security is all too easy to hack and is becoming increasingly insecure as the software tools of thieves become more sophisticated. Antivirus software only protects you against threats that are out of date and unlikely to be used by a sophisticated hacker. With content copy protection such as DRM encryption, given enough time, any encryption can be broken. Let's look at one example of compromising the client. All it takes is for an unsuspecting user to click on a bad web link and all of a sudden the client is infected with a virus. Many of these viruses are sophisticated enough to steal every password the user types in and copy every secure web page the user travels to from then on. Every private communication into or out of that client computer becomes compromised. One way that computer users have tried to fight back against such incursions is with antivirus software. Unfortunately, antivirus software only protects you against threats that are out of date and unlikely to be used by a sophisticated hacker. Another example of data security is content protection. Content providers are utilizing encryption technologies to protect their music and video files from theft or unlicensed use, such as digital rights management or DRM. The problem with DRM is that only encryption alone stands between the hackers and the data, and given enough time, any encryption can be broken. Once the encryption is broken, it's likely to also be broken for all similar content. Take DVDs as an example. They were broken years ago, and now they can be easily duplicated at will. Another SandCastle feature offers instant data retraction. In this fast-paced world when we're firing off emails, posting status updates, and sending messages a mile a minute, we've all pressed send or delete sooner than we've intended at one time or another. Maybe you billed the wrong client or forgot to attach a file before pressing send. Or maybe you sent your boss a message you intended to send to your best friend. While these examples can be embarrassing, other mistakes can get you into legal trouble. For example, healthcare providers and other covered entities can violate HIPAA by sending an email containing protected health information, PHI, to the wrong person. Thankfully, SandCastles has a way to undo various forms of digital data, including the ability to instantly recall sent emails. How does SandCastles stand above these other data protection approaches? SandCastles begins with a verification process to determine if the client is compromised. It sets up a secure area inside the computer and tests all the doors and windows of that area to make sure they are all secure. Once this work has been completed, only then does that data come down onto the computer. Now, you'd think this would mean a lot of waiting on the part of the user, but it doesn't. Computers are very fast. All the security checks are complete and maintained within a fraction of a second of when the user starts asking for data. During the verification process, the coding of authentication changes on the order of every few milliseconds or thousandths of a second. A computer can execute a few million instructions per millisecond, so by changing procedures that frequently, it adds practically no time overhead to the communication. Once the user is done with the data, it's deleted from the client. This provides hackers a very short window of opportunity to steal the content, and the window changes in nature constantly. These changes are too unpredictable for any computer algorithm to adapt to. Even if the world's most creative hacker were set to the task, they couldn't keep up with the changes because they're only human and can't adapt to computer speeds. So that's the SandCastles story. It's simple, really, as all good security plans are, and it has provisions in place to thwart both human hackers and the fastest and most sophisticated of computer tools. SandCastles. Don't let your data security get washed away.